Hello, and welcome back to the first in the third series of the Ricky Gervais Show with me, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant.
Hello there.
And the fool, the round-headed buffoon that is Karl Pilkington.
Alright.
We've been away filming our second series of extras, leaving Karl to his own devices in a sweltering London. We've had a heat wave here in the capital city, haven't we, Karl?
It's been hot, hasn't it?
It's been up to 100 degrees, record-breaking temperatures.
Yeah.
What have you been doing, though?
Sort of enjoyed it a little bit. Was out and about.
Yeah?
Getting to see the place, having loads of walks and that. I like to have walks. You know, watching what
Like
people
a dog. Yeah! When he jumps off the couch and starts scratching against the door.
Suzanne thinks it's time.
It's
it's just good thinking time, though, isn't it? As well, having a walk. You've got no other clutter going on around you. And you just think about a lot of stuff. And, you know, like say, with the weather being hot and stuff, a lot of insects knocking about.
Right.
So I've just been watching them.
So while we've been filming a TV show, you've been watching insects?
Yeah, just seeing, because everybody knows insects are out there, but no one's keeping an eye on them.
What are they up to? What are you worried about?
Loads of Steve, you wouldn't be laughing like that if you'd watch them, because they do some weird stuff and that, is what I mean.
What sort of stuff? Any examples?
I saw a bee have a heart attack.
You saw a bee have a heart attack.
Yeah.
How were you sure it was a heart attack?
Because what happened, I'd been...
Did it clutch its chest with all six legs?
No,
Were there some other little bee paramedics?
No, I'd just been out in the park anyway, just looking at, you know, caterpillars knocking about, butterflies and stuff, so I was sort of aware.
So when Suzanne goes to work, she goes, Karl, don't you waste the day. Just because you don't work at the radio station anymore, I want you to do some constructive stuff. And you go, yeah, I am, yeah. And so in your head suddenly goes... And he goes out, oh, there's a moth.
But the thing is, so I'd been in the park and I was aware of the insects that are around us more than, like, most of the time. And I come out of the park, just crossing, like, sort of a busy road and what have you, and I saw this bee to the right of me, sort of in the air, and it was a big one, and I was a bit like, oh, let's watch that. And it just fell. It fell from the air in front of me, and it was on the pavement, and I thought, oh, what's going on here? And I looked at it for a bit, and it was really still, gave it a little kick, just to see if there was any movement. Nothing. Stone, sort of, what's the saying? Stone cold dead.
Yeah! Stone cold bee dead.
So,
yeah.
that
I like the fact that this bee suddenly saw Karl and had a heart attack.
Yeah.
It'd never seen anything that round before.
Yeah.
It just thought, it had approached him because he thought it was a sunflower.
My God, it's a giant walking orange. Every dream has come true.
No, but it just summed up life for me. I thought that's like us, isn't it, at the end of the day? They have heart attacks, stress.
You put it down to stress, do you?
Well, it's in London, isn't it? You know, everything has stresses from living here.
And they are bald, aren't they? They've got fur all over, but they lose the...
And always overweight.
It was a fat, bald bee. Oh.
So what did you... It fell to the floor and you instantly... You just kicked it. You didn't attempt to revive it.
No, I waited a second and just looked at it to see if there was any, you know, leg movement or wing. And there was nothing. And then when I sort of kicked it, it was sort of hard. It had hardened already. It's just...
Rigor mortis had
set in.
Did it put you in a bad mood for the day? Because I know things like that can just send you over the edge for the day.
Death and that does a bit. Suzanne doesn't like me talking about death.
What riveting conversations do you come up with?
No, just things like, one of our mates has had a baby recently, and I just was saying, oh, when that's sort of our age, we'll nearly be dead.
Think of that.
That's the first thing he says, there's a new life brought into the world.
I know.
But when he's our age, we'll be dead.
Yeah.
No, it's
Maybe
weird.
they'll let you do the speech at the christening.
Yeah, it's just, you know, so like I say, just insect life and that, it's interesting.
You say it's interesting, but do you care about really finding out about them? Do you really care about what bees do or ants do? You look at them and you make up your own world. For example, it had a heart attack, it's stress, it's overweight. You know nothing. I could probably, won't you look something up? You know, honeybees are fascinating. You know, honeybees, they've been around making honey for 100 million years. It's incredible. Their wings beat over 11,000 times a minute.
And he's thinking, no wonder it had a heart attack.
Yeah, exactly. But they're do you know, bees, like ants, are actually like specialised wasps. They're sort of developed from the same
Family.
Huh?
Family, like.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
It doesn't surprise me.
Doesn't surprise you, though. Does it interest you in any way?
Well, everything's linked to something, isn't it? It's like how they say away from monkeys and that.
Yeah.
It's all the same sort of thing.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I've been watching loads of stuff. I've been watching ants. You mentioned ants. I've had a lot of moths in the house. They're sort of sad.
I mean, you say it like it was a garden party.
No, it's just all these things. You look at them. I mean, you go into the scientific bit saying, you know, it likes honey or whatever.
It doesn't like honey. The reason they store honey is to get them through the winter when there's not like nectar, or nectar's hard to get, and they store it. And they store too much, which is why we can skim a little bit off the top. We're like agents.
Yeah, well, but all I'm saying is I look at more about what its life is like. As
Well, no, you
to...
don't. You don't. You guess. You make it up. You don't look into it at all.
No, but you can. A bit of guesswork is you're pretty close to the truth most of the time.
Why? What do you mean? That statement sums you up. A bit of guesswork is pretty close to the truth.
Because if you watch something long enough, is what I'm saying, you can see that it's a bit clueless. It's the same way about ants, or, you know, they're hard workers and all that. I watch one, it's going back and forth all the time. They go one way and then they stop and go the other way. They try to look busy in front of the mates. But if you watch one long enough, it's back and forwards, and it's like it's done nothing there.
I'm going to carry this twig back and forth until I can knock off at 4.
There's a lot of that going on.
Is there?
Because there's not. There's none of that going on.
There is. No, like I say, the moth, depressing little sort of thing.
Why is it depressing?
Just the way it hasn't got eyes, has it? You just look at it, it doesn't know what's going on. I just don't. I think if you haven't got eyes, you shouldn't have wings.
That's a rule. If we could put that into practice, please.
That's a great rule. That's a fantastic rule, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you haven't got eyes, you shouldn't have wings.
Certainly true of people thinking of becoming an air pilot.
Ah!
You know, whilst you've been working on that, I've been travelling about a bit, just seeing the country and that. Went to Dorset, right? Nice beach there. And you know those huts you get, like a hut on the beach, and
where you get changed?
You can get changed in it, but they're better than that. It's like you can put a telly in it, sofa if you want.
Oh, you don't mean the Victorian changing huts?
Yeah,
you mean
those
like
sort of things. It's sort of bigger than that.
Yeah.
And we were walking down there, and there was a really sort of big fat family in one of them. There was about 4 of them, and you could tell that they've never had a game of anything. Do you know what I mean? They just sit down there, eating ice creams, looking at the sea and what have you. And the weird thing is, the little fat kid, the youngest one, who must have been, I don't know, about 8, he was really fat to the point of you couldn't see his neck.
Yeah.
And he sat at the front of his mum and dad and his older sister. He sat there. And he had a frisbee, and I thought, look, they don't want to play with him. I mean, that's an active game to play, isn't it?
Yeah.
Frisbee. As we got closer, he was just using it to eat Maltesers out of. I just thought, even again, you know, the one active thing he's got is using it to eat out of.
Yeah. Extraordinary.
And that just sums up what people are like, you know, when it comes to keeping fit and activities.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Were you sporty, Rick?
I was, yeah. I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
Were you good at it?
I was good at some things. Was never good at rugby. Never good at cricket. Was all right at football. But those things were the more competitive things that were scary. So at my school, when you're surrounded by, like, people who the fun is hurting someone.
Well, it's weird you say it, because I remember the first day I went to play cricket, my mum said, as I was leaving, I was really excited about playing cricket, she went, be careful. I was walking across a playing field once, a cricket ball hit me on the head, I was unconscious for 2 hours. Freaked me out. On the way to play cricket, I thought, okay, always scared of the ball, because it's obviously, as you say, rock solid. I remember a couple of seasons later, I had to play rugby for the first time. As I was leaving the house, she went, be careful with rugby. I knew a kid once broke his back playing it.
I was terrified of rugby. I was terrified of rugby.
It's such a scary game.
The ball came to me, I got rid of it immediately.
It's mental.
Yeah.
I don't understand. What I remember is, I remember a teacher saying you've got to play it very carefully because you can get seriously injured, you can hurt yourself, you can be crippled for life. I remember thinking, why are we allowed to still play this game at school?
I was worried about cracking heads.
Yeah.
And a finger in the eye.
How is it not bad?
That worried me all the time, a finger in the eye.
But they removed the asbestos from schools in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah.
But rugby... It's allowed to play. It's mental.
Yeah.
See, I had a mate called Mark who liked playing cricket, right? And when I used to say to my mum, "Oh, I want to go out with Mark and his dad to play cricket," and she never used to let me go. She'd go, "Oh, I prefer, you didn't." And I used to always think that, it's because it's a dangerous sport. You can get hit on the head by the ball and it's hard, put an eye out or whatever. But it was because his dad used to drive us to the place to play cricket, and he had his eyelids were too big, so he used to have to sort of have his head right back.
Like one of those old-fashioned dolls.
Right.
Where you could lean about.
They clunk back and clunk forward again.
And she didn't like me getting in a car with him.
Sorry, who is this? Whose eyelids are too big? So, growing up, you had a woman who had her head like a bag of spuds.
I didn't know her.
No, you had 2 kids at school with webbed hands and feet and big heads. Yeah. You had a pigeon chest boy.
Nowadays, you're walking around with insects and moths like something from James and the Giant Peach.
Yeah. And you had a bloke whose eyelids were too big.
One thing I've noticed, that because I occasionally go to the gym, and those guys who work out constantly to give themselves extraordinary physiques, they're on the trip, they're on the weights, and they're really, I notice in the summer particularly, those guys cannot wait to get their shirts off.
Yeah.
Everywhere you see, they're walking around, if they've got a good torso, they are walking shirts off. Even, I think, if you go to nightclubs, I notice there's always one guy who's thinking, well, I have put so much work into this body, I have got to get my shirt off on the dance floor.
A vest, yeah.
And it comes straight off.
A brand new tattoo. I'm not covering that up.
Exactly.
I've paid a lot for it. Let's see it.
Yeah.
But that's what we were saying about bodies. I can't remember why we were talking about it. We've got to a point in science now that you can change a head. Right?
No, well, that doesn't make any sense at all.
It was a program it was done in the 50s or 60s where they stuck a monkey's brain on a stick and had it wired up and it still worked, right?
Right, okay.
And that was in like the 60s or
Right,
whatever.
okay. Well, to say to change a head makes no sense at all. Because if you put a different head on a different body, you're changing the body.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's what I'm about to say to you, though.
What?
That's what I'm saying. That I'd be more confident if I had someone else's body. Because if anyone dissed it, I can go, no, it's bad, innit? But it's
What
not
are you
mine.
talking about?
Well, it's like, say...
As opposed to someone else's head?
Yeah. Well,
What,
it
you'd
wouldn't be me, would it? The head is me.
Well, of course it is. That's what I mean.
Yeah,
So
the
what do you
head's
mean?
me.
You'd be happier having someone else's body? What, than your own?
What I mean is, say if you're wandering about, for some reason there's an incident, you have to take your top off and that, and everyone's looking at you, right? And you're a bit sort of, you haven't got the muscles and that, you haven't got the 6-pack.
Right.
Which isn't that nice anyway. I don't know why that's become a nice thing, really, seeing the insides of you. You might as well. I mean, I know I came up with the see-through skin idea, but it's a bit weird, isn't it? You can see stuff.
No, it's the muscle in front of the...
No, it's not. Sometimes
it is.
you can
It's
see
not the,
like,
it's not the
tubes.
outline of your
No,
organs.
you can't see tubes.
You can see tubes and veins and stuff.
Well, you can see veins.
Yeah, well, I don't want to see that. That's why we've got skin over it. Is what
Stop
I mean.
looking at naked men, then.
Why
No,
you
but
keep
sometimes you can't help it because it's been hot, and like you say, there's people walking about with vests on and that. So anyway, what I'm saying is, say if some incident happened, I'm walking about with my top off.
Right.
Girls are laughing at me, right?
Why?
Dunno, they might.
Yeah, go on. So they wouldn't look at your body, they'd all look at your head.
So what I mean is,
Yeah.
rewind that, right, and imagine all that happens again, but I've got someone else's body.
Right.
Whose body?
Just some fella who's died, and my body was injured, and they said, we've got a new body in. You can
Right.
have it. We'll
Yeah.
stick your head on it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, say if...
They're laughing at you.
they are
laughing at the
laughing,
body,
they're laughing
yeah.
at the body,
Yeah.
but at least I'd be able to sort of go, I know it's a mess, but it's not mine. At least I don't have to claim ownership.
So all of this extraordinary technology that can make put one head on another person's body is so you can go, it's not my body.
No.
But
it's not your own.
I'm not being funny though. So if you have a body transplant, right, and you're there, you're at home,
Yeah.
naked, you look down,
Yeah.
lovely penis and a set of testicles,
Yeah.
right? What do you do with them?
What do you mean? What am I doing with them?
Well, do you like them?
Well, you wouldn't mess about with them as much as if they were your own.
But if you did mess about with them, would you feel guilty that you were messing about with another man's testicles and penis?
And it's the full body.
Yeah.
No, because they're not my hands either.
You're a genius! You're a fucking genius! So what you're doing is watching someone else wank.
Yeah.
Well, one thing Karl has been doing over the past few months is writing his diary. He's kept that up. I don't know what he's had to write about. All he's been doing is looking at moths and ants and bees and going for walks. But I'm sure it's all in the diary. So, let's have a look at that. Oh, I don't believe he's only going to write it down the...
We went to the park and had a brew. Suzanne read the paper while I played with a ladybird. I mean, it's like a child, isn't it? It's like what a child would do.
Suzanne read the paper while I played with a ladybird. His only friend is a beetle.
It climbed up my arm. It struggled on me hairs.
This is in detail then?
Yeah. It kept stopping every now and then and was rubbing its head with its right arm. It did it about 4 times and always used its right arm. It rested for about 5 minutes, then flew off. Sunday. Had a bit of a to-do with Suzanne because she wanted a line today. I ate this. Once you're awake, you should get up. I got up and put the radio on really loud. She eventually got up. I told her insects don't have lines, so we shouldn't.
Why are you obsessed with insects?
You must be fucking unbearable to live with. You must be a nightmare.
No, I've just started, because I've watched insects a lot. I don't want to keep going on about them because we're a bit insect heavy. But at the end of the day, if we copied insects, we wouldn't go far wrong.
I don't know what you mean though. One minute you're saying they're great, then the next minute you'll slag them off.
Yeah, I'll slag some of them off if I don't know what they're doing, but because I've studied them a bit longer, I just think they do it
You haven't
right.
studied them though.
He thinks he's like Darwin.
But you just slagged them off and again. Don't you think people that insects are doing stuff? They're not. It goes there, then it goes back again.
The ant was messing about, but only that one. The others were carrying stuff. That's what I'm saying. There's snidey ones in everything. In everything in the world, you get a hierarchy.
Oh, long words!
Ooh. The bookshelf was dusty, so Suzanne asked me to dust it if I get a minute. I ended up looking at every book.
Just the spine.
Yeah.
Just for a few seconds each. Yeah. Didn't open them.
I looked in the dictionary to see if the word dictionary would be in the dictionary. I didn't think they would bother with it being on the front page, but it was in the book as well.
It's a good point, though, isn't it?
No, it's not a good point, because you didn't tell us anything.
Dictionary is in the dictionary.
Well, of course it is.
Well, why? If you go, how do you spell dictionary, you look at the spine and you go, oh, there it is, D-I-C-C, and all that.
So what does dictionary mean?
It's a book full of words, isn't it?
That's what it means. All books are full of words, you idiot.
How to spell them. And if you don't know
No,
what
it's
it
not
is...
how to spell them.
All right, then, well...
I'll just look up something. No. It's not a book full of words to tell us what... No. It's the meaning.
Give us
It's
the definition of
definitive
dictionary.
meaning.
It's a book full of words if you want to know what the meanings are. But if you didn't know
Well, sorry, what was that sentence?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, if you didn't know that, then you wouldn't be looking in it, because you wouldn't know the book is about that. So, if you don't know the word dictionary and what it means, you wouldn't be looking at the dictionary, you'd be looking at an A to Z. Because you
Why
go,
leave it out, though?
Just because there's so many words in the world, I would have thought they wanted to cram as much as they can on a page, and if dictionary is already on the front...
Is that why you suddenly used the word hierarchy for the first time ever? Did you find that in there?
Did you see hierarchy in the dictionary?
I feel
I don't know where
that
that
big
was.
word has pushed out about 26 other more useful ones.
Yeah, well, Suzanne's been going on about me learning another language. But I sort of think your brain has only got so much room on it.
And the rest of it's filled with lard.
So, if I've got to learn everything I know, again, but in a different language, it's taking up space, isn't it?
You don't learn everything. Oh, God.
It's all storage, isn't it?
But you don't have to learn it again. You don't have to learn the concepts again. You're merely
Do you know how
learning
many
vocabulary.
moves there are in the human brain? You don't worry, you won't use them all up.
I feel that he has reached his capacity though.
Yeah. Well, you need another sort of, you need an update. You need some more memory.
Woke up to some interesting news. It's good when this happens because it sets me up for the day ahead. If it's miserable news, it affects my day. It said on the news that they have found 2 new flies.
Fucking hell, more insects! What have you done? Is that all you've done this summer?
Bong. Trouble in the Middle East. Bong. 2 new flies found.
Ladybird climbs up arm.
They were found in the UK and they were found close to each other. Maybe this happened because they were different than the other flies and weren't expected to hang about together, so that's why they knocked about with each other.
That would happen, wouldn't it?
What do you mean?
There's 2 new flies.
What do you mean? Does it mean there are 2 new flies that are a different species?
Yeah, 2 new species, and they found them close to each other, right?
Yeah,
and
but they didn't mean there was one of each.
No. Yeah, they did. They found 2 different ones.
No.
No, they have. Seriously, I know that. That's right. That's a fact. So you've got, like, I don't know the names of them. They give them odd names, don't they? Well, say
Yeah.
you call it A and fly B, right?
Yeah.
Fly A, I don't know, say that's orange.
This is just...
B,
Fly B, yeah.
No,
This is painful.
No, but
This
I'm
is
just making
painful.
it easier
But
for
5B
you.
wears a little hat. He's got a little hat.
All right, yeah, fine. Now, they found the orange one. I went, look at this over here. This is a bit weird. And they've gone, oh, that's a new species. Log it, whatever. And then the other one went, whoa, keep your pen handy. Look at this one, it's got a hat on. So then they found them both within the same distance.
I don't know what that sentence means.
Keep going.
They
No,
found
let him
them
try and
both.
finish.
They found them both within the same distance.
But without interrupting him, let him finish this point.
Let me just make one thing clear. Karl Pilkington just said they found them both within the same distance. Think of that!
Don't know what it means, but go on, let him finish this point.
So what I mean is, they weren't knocking about with other normal houseflies because they were probably sort of going, oh, he's a bit weird. Leave it. Yet, because the other one was also odd, they're hanging about with each other. Don't you understand that? Why is that such an odd concept?
Because you think of it as like 2 little new kids in school.
Yeah.
They find out they're both new and they've got something in common.
They're both goths, so they start hanging out together.
Yeah.
And this was on the news, was it?
Yeah, just on the radio, yeah.
I know if I looked into that story, it would be 90% wrong.
Bit tired today, because didn't get to sleep as early as I wanted due to a moth getting in the bedroom.
Fuck me.
I got it in a glass and looked at it for a bit and then let it go because Suzanne wanted to go to sleep. Looked up some interesting news. Some people dug up an old body in Ireland. Turns out it's well old and was here when dinosaurs were here. The really weird bit is it had hair gel in its hair.
Right, what is it?
Fella.
Well, no, it wasn't around when dinosaurs were here then.
Just a bit after.
Right, fine. A lot after, yeah, go on. I think any hominid, anything that could even be linked to anything that may become man, is only about 1 million years old, and I think Homo sapien is probably only about 150,000 years old. Dinosaurs are about 150 million to 250 million.
Yeah, no, it's not the age bit, that's amazing. It's the fact of, there's a fella, won't have even had shoes on his feet,
Right.
and yet he was worried about his hairstyle.
Right, well that's definitely not true either. This is unbelievable.
Well, there was a man on the radio doing poetry, says Karl in his diary. I thought I'd have a go at doing a poem about today.
Not really. Steve, I'm a little bit queasy. He hasn't really written a poem.
He's written a small poem.
No, he hasn't really.
Yes. If moths had eyes...
Fuck me!
Let me read the poem, okay?
Oh, fuck.
You wouldn't interrupt T.S. Eliot.
Okay. Oh, okay.
If moths had eyes, would they be happier? How do they know they're not dead? Cavemen hunting for food, but not before they style the hair on their head. What would last longer in dinosaur times? A blind man didn't stand a chance. Not with all them rocks about. I'd rather be a blind moth.
Right. It may be the greatest poem
Now,
ever written.
just dissecting it briefly, you attempt to rhyme in the first 4 lines, but abandon the rhyming system in the last 3. Is there a creative decision for that?
Can we have Karl read that?
By all
Sorry,
means, yeah.
just you read it as you would like to. So this is, imagine this, right? Okay, this is going out all over the world. This podcast. And now, Karl Pilkington, a new poet from Manchester, now living in London, England, would like to read a poem
If moths had eyes, would they be happier? How do they know they're not dead? Cavemen hunting for food, but not before they style the hair on their head. What would last longer in dinosaur times? A blind man didn't stand a chance. Not with all them rocks about. I'd rather be a blind moth.
He said it as though the last bit was going to rhyme. He said it like it was going to rhyme. Oh, God.
No,
it's amazing.
I think he feels as though the final line, I'd rather be a blind moth, is going to be one of those great, a summation, that somehow the moth is a metaphor, the caveman...
No, but
there's
all
no
I'm
metaphor in that. He really does mean he'd rather be a blind moth.
Yeah, well, I'm just because I've looked at the day's news.
Can we always do that, Karl? Can we always find a day, right, and always sum it up in your thoughts, a poem? Just like that. I love that structure. I love that structure. If there's any English students or professors or novelists or poets listening, please email us what they thought of that poem, why it's good, why it's bad. So, give us your thoughts on that. I mean, we would love expert opinion, poets, English professors. Just email us at podcast@rickygervais.com. Now, Karl, apart from being a poet, you are an author now. You've written a book. Which surprised me and Steve, because as Steve said, we thought you'd read a book before you actually wrote one, but you've proved us wrong, and all your teachers wrong, and everyone in the world who thinks you're an idiot. It is actually a very good book. I mean, a lot of it is transcripts from, the podcasts, but you've answered some of your critics, haven't you? And you've tried to prove some of your theories. It's everything about Karl. It is like
all the drawings.
All the drawings. There's new stories, isn't there? I mean, there's so much effort. I can't believe it. He's been working on it for months, and it's out on the 18th of September. But you can order it now, can't you, on Amazon.com and Amazon.co.uk.
What's that book called?
It's called The World of Karl Pilkington. Well, thanks very much. Goodbye from me, Ricky Gervais. Goodbye from Stephen Merchant.
Goodbye.
And goodbye from the little hollow, egg-headed moron that is Karl Pilkington.
Right.
Audible hopes you've enjoyed this programme.
Well, episode 2 of season 3 of the Ricky Gervais Show, with me, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant.
Hello there.
And Karl Pilkington.
All right.
What's been going on? I've
been to hospital. I was rushed to hospital, like emergency and that. Had a tube put up my knob.
You had a tube put up your knob?
Yeah.
What's the story?
Kidney stones.
Ooh.
So, shouldn't really be here, to be honest, doing this. He said rest and that. Climbing them stairs on the way in.
To be quite honest, it doesn't look like you're expending a lot of energy at the moment. It's like at Zookeeper going, oh, that sloth move today. Calm down.
Yeah, but I had to get here. It's been raining.
Yeah.
I had to come up the stairs. I had to carry the computer.
Yeah.
Well, that's not entirely true, because your girlfriend was carrying it. I saw her outside.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
And then you handed it to me and said, Steve, carry this.
Almighty.
So
yeah, I know.
that's already a lie.
Christ almighty. Whinging.
Not whinging.
I'm in show business. I know loads of people that wake up every day with a sore knob, feeling like they've had their kidneys probed, and they will say they're unconscious. So they don't whinge about it. They get straight back onto it. They, a lot of them on TV now.
Yeah, straight back to hosting game shows.
So you're rushed to hospital.
So take us through the events, because it does sound quite dramatic. You started feeling a bit of pain, did you, initially?
I felt a bit of pain, and I thought, maybe I just pulled a muscle or something when I've been wrestling with Ricky and that, because you don't know what damage has been done. So I just think, it'll go in a minute, and then it didn't. It got a bit badder.
It got badder, did it?
So then I thought, I was crippled. I was lying on the floor in agony, looking on the internet, looking for a sort of
Still looking at
solutions.
monkey news.
No, I just put in like bellyache and stuff, and they were saying it can be loads of different things. And what I used to do when I was a kid, I used to always just get a cold ashtray and put that on my belly, and the coldness used to get rid of the badness.
Amazing.
The coldness got me.
It's like a witch doctor.
Yeah.
This is like...
A witch doctor happens to work in a pub.
It's like some sort of 5th century remedy written in mud. The coldness doth get away with the badness.
Why specifically an ashtray?
Just because they sort of old cold.
They're old cold.
I don't know what this is. I love this idea that he at the operation and he comes round and they're talking to him and his girlfriend gets a phone call and they say, Mr. Pilkington's maybe complications. He's just talking rubbish. She goes, oh, good.
Yeah, he's back to his old self. What? Why specifically an ashtray? Sorry, because it's old cold. I understand it's old cold.
Oh yeah, we understand. Everyone who's done a medical degree understands old cold, but old cold belly badness. If you want to buy that book, Old Cold Belly Badness, it's the history of abdominal surgery by Karl Pilkington.
No, it just
But you put it in the freezer or something first?
You can do if you want, but they're normally cold anyway. It's sort of thick glass and that holds the cold. But we don't smoke in our house, so I had to use a plate.
Oh, well, that's madness. A plate's not going to work. Famously, a plate doesn't work.
Oh, God, no!
So you put a plate on your belly, but that didn't do any...
That didn't work. So, called Suzanne and said, I'm in agony here. She said, go to the doctors then.
Good advice.
So
a lot of people have done that straight away, as opposed to going through the plate ashtray.
So he went to hospital, and he went to hospital and he said, have you got an ashtray?
They went, no, especially an ashtray.
This is no smoking.
So anyway, so then we get in a cab and whatever, you go there. I have an X-ray.
His voice is even more boring than usual,
isn't it? Yeah.
Fuck me.
And they put me on a drip and everything. Give me some morphine and stuff. And found out that I had kidney stones. So that's why I was in hospital. And they get them out by... I don't know what's gone on, to be honest. I've got some tube inside me. From my kidney to my bladder. That's helping me stuff get about.
And so there's a little tube up the end of your knob into your...
Yeah, it's not there now. It's high up.
Right.
So it's high up between my kidney and my bladder.
But why didn't you have the thing where they go in the side? You had the choice to...
Because I said to the doctor, I'm not a doctor. I said, what do you think?
He went, stop putting yourself down, Karl.
He said,
we need you in the operating theatre now.
He just said, I said to him, what should I have done? Because he said, if you want, go home, and we'll get you in again or something. Something like that. And I said, no, I might as well have it done properly. Have it done now whilst I'm here.
Sorry, the choice was have it done properly or go home.
It was something like that. He said there's something you can do, and I said, oh,
flush it out.
No, because it's too big. It's something like 7 millimeters.
And it's basically because you don't drink enough water.
Yeah. So anyway, I said, what do you think I should have done? And he said, tube up the knob. And I said, not my favourite one of the choice, but if that's what you think. So he said, yeah, have that. He did me little diagrams, which didn't help. He was like showing...
How big did he draw your knob?
Sort of normal size.
Yeah? Was it?
It was alright.
You weren't offended by them?
But he went into detail. It's just, more the tubes and stuff in your bladder and your kidney.
What was your ball bag like? Did he draw that?
He didn't do that bit. He left that bit out.
Okay, right.
But he said, we'll just pop that up there. And then that's when Ricky turned up to visit. Came in laughing at me because we sat there in like me underpants and stockings.
In stockings?
Yeah.
Why were you dressed?
He was there. No, he wasn't in bed. He was sort of out of bed with his little drip, right? He had his little boxer shorts on, just sat there, right, in his pants, right, and he had stockings on.
Yeah, because they stop clots or something. They put them on your legs. It's like, when people have got big veins and they go on a plane.
Right. Yeah.
You said you're not a doctor.
No, but I've seen it because Suzanne's mum did it, and she put them on ridiculously early, like 3 days before we were going away, and she'd never been away before, and everything was like over the top. Do you know what I mean? She's like, I best put them on. And so I put them on, and they I don't know what it is. It's something when you're in when you're under, your blood doesn't move about the same.
Right.
And it can clot up in your leg. So you wear these tight tights.
And I came in to cheer him up, didn't I?
Yeah.
Was that a nice, cheery experience, him coming in?
I had a headache at the time. I think I was a bit stressed out.
Well, he's just the man you want at that point.
Yeah.
He reassured you, I imagine.
Well, it's weird how it suddenly all happened quick. It was like as soon as he came in, it's like they got the finger out. And when I say
Not
that,
literally.
I mean
Yeah.
suddenly I was being rushed down to, have me stuff done. And I woke up and there was an Irish woman over me going, "Are you all right? You all right?" And I said, "Oh, it's stinging a bit." She said, "I'll give you some more morphine." And I sort of put my head up to have a look at my tackle because I wanted to see
if it was still there.
What was attached to it. Do you know what I mean? Because they said something about they might leave some string hanging out of it so they can pull the tube out.
It makes you talk.
So, I had a look for that. Couldn't see any of that.
Yeah.
But as she put the morphine in, all the muscles in your body go funny. My head just collapsed.
Your head collapsed.
I sort of looked up to look at my stuff, but then she said, "Oh, you just need a little bit of morphine," and she put that in, and I just sort of went, oof. And then they sent me home about 2 hours after. But I'm in agony now, and
are you in agony right now as we speak?
Yeah, it's hurting.
Now, are you a man who's had this kind of hospital experience before? Is this your whole first time?
I don't go to hospitals and stuff because I don't like them messing about. But it does make you think now. Do you know what I mean? Like life and everything. It's weird how it's all happened in the last month. From seeing that bee sort of die.
No.
Well, not really.
No. This is not a near-death experience.
It is
You
a
had a
little bit.
routine operation to remove kidney stones because you don't drink enough water.
No, I know, but
This is not a shark attack.
Yeah, but it's all life-threatening. Otherwise, you wouldn't have to fill out forms, would you? Saying if everything goes wrong, Suzanne can have the house or whatever. And then you find out more about the body as well, which has been sort of doing me head in a bit. You're more aware of stuff in your body, which I don't like knowing about.
Yeah.
They keep taking your heartbeats and stuff, and your blood pressure. I don't like knowing about that. I just leave it. It's happening. Don't be messing with it. Stop measuring it.
Stop measuring it!
No, do you know what I mean?
That's the same with a knob.
It's that thing of like, they put that thing
That's what
on.
the anaesthetist was doing when you were under, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He was comparing the diagram to the actual thing.
Oh, God.
The fella across the way from me had the same thing as me, but he'd had it a couple of days ago when he was in agony. So that doesn't help when he's saying, "Oh, I've been to hell and back." Like, don't tell me that.
Sure.
I don't want to know. Just say it was all right and stuff. So it just the whole thing of a hospital is stressful. You know what I mean? They wake you up like every half an hour in the night, saying, "How do you feel?" It's like, "Oh, it's 3:30. What are you doing?" I've got to have it done again in a couple of weeks because what they've done now, they've popped that straw up, but the stone's still in there because they didn't have the laser team in with them. Blast the stone, and then that time they're probably going to leave a little bit of string out the end. Then they have to go about 3 days later and they pull it out. Tell you what though, when you are because when you're in hospital, you've got a lot of time just to sit there and think about stuff. And what I was thinking about is, what is the closest thing sort of living that's nothing?
I don't know what you mean.
What?
What's like the closest, like, do you know at some point something's gone from nothing to something? Hasn't it?
No, I don't understand what you mean.
Something, at some point people were nothing, and then something happened and there was something. Do you know what I mean?
But they were never nothing, were they?
Do you mean what is the first and lowest and most primitive and most simple form of life?
No,
He's right here in this room, Rick.
say like when you look at a stick insect,
Right.
you go, right, there's a slight crossover there from a stick to a living thing.
No, it's not.
It didn't used to be a stick.
No, it's not. There's no biological relationship between it and a stick.
But there isn't much difference between the two, is what I mean.
Of course there is.
It's a huge
There isn't.
difference.
They just sit there looking like a stick. That's their skill.
Yes, but there's nothing to do with being a stick. It's like camouflage. That's like saying when a soldier puts on combat gear, you're saying he's a cross between a human and a shrub. He's not a cross between a human and a shrub.
No,
is he?
that's man-made
From a distance,
stuff.
you can't see him. That's the same as the stick insect.
No, but that isn't what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, have you seen them weird things that just look like... They sort of look like a leaf?
Yeah, they're insects that have evolved to look like a leaf. So a bird thinks, oh, there's no tea there.
No,
that's
but
not a juicy insect. It's a leaf. I don't eat leaves.
Yeah, but at some point, something has had it away with a leaf.
No!
What?
At no point has something had it away with a leaf.
No, to make it look that much like a leaf.
At no point did a beetle shag a leaf. There's nothing on a genetic level or molecular level, anything to do with it having anything to do with a stick or a leaf. It's superficial. It's the way it looks. That's all it. That's like saying comedians must have mated with green once. They are green.
No, but
it looks like a leaf.
What I don't understand is...
It has evolved to blend in perfectly with its surroundings and fool predators.
But then how does it have relationships? It will be going around sort of having it away with a leaf.
No, it won't, because it doesn't know what it looks like. It doesn't matter. They do it with pheromones and attraction, and it's not like a stick insect will be talking to a stick for ages and go, oh, I've wasted my time here. This club's dead. Rude.
I was chatting to her, she was foxy, but she was giving me nothing.
But, Dave, that's not a stick insect, that's a stick.
What are you talking about?
That's a stick. You've been talking to a stick all night.
I can't believe it. I just thought she had a great slim figure.
No, it's actually a real stick.
But I've been reading a lot about, I like spiders and stuff, just reading about them. And there's one, right? It's got big legs.
Yeah.
Doesn't use them. It goes around floating in the air on a bit of webbage. Like a kite.
He just took a gamble then, didn't he? He took a gamble. He thought, do you know what? I'm going to go with webbage. Don't know if it's a word, not sure, but I could just say web, and I'm going to go with webbage. I'm going to risk it. And it didn't pay off, did it?
Webbage! Webbage!
But that's how it gets about. It's in the air like a kite.
Yeah.
And it's just floating about.
I've seen one, yeah.
So that's what I'm saying about weirdness. The way all that goes on, and this is what I can't get my head round.
You have got your head round.
But do they get ill then?
He's just, for those listening at home, he has just bumped his head against the microphone.
Trying to mate with it because it's perfectly round, this microphone.
No, but when I was, like, this is what I'm saying, when I was in hospital and stuff, you do think about how others live, because insects don't have operations. Are they built better than us to survive in this world?
The trap you seem to fall into again and again and again is you cannot conceive of the fact that insects and animals do not have consciousness and personality and communication. They do not function in the way that humans do. You've seen so many Disney cartoons, you believe them now to have a life and wear bowler hats and go to work. But just in the same way that the cavemen didn't have Flintstone-type cars and have a little house,
but
you can't seem to understand that animals don't work in that way.
But what I mean is, you're saying that no animals or insects know anything, yet when you see them things on nature programmes where a load of ants are having a walk, there's always one at the front who's leading it all. So one of them's got to know something.
First. Or there are leaders in.
Yeah, but the other ants are going follow him.
No, they're not. They're not. They're not vocalising that in any sense that you understand it.
No, they're not saying follow him, but they sort of look as if to sort of say, I'm going this way.
Without cognitive
speaking.
reasoning.
It's not made a conscious decision to act in that way.
Yeah, but this is when you
if a raindrop falls on a bird's beak and it moves away because instinctively it's hardwired to be wary of things which drop on its beak in case it's dangerous. It's not thinking, oh crumbs, I better get out of the way. It just does it because it's somehow hardwired into it to act that way. But it doesn't stop for a moment and think. Which we don't really, except we then are able to rationalise our fears and our actions.
Well, I've been watching birds more than insects recently.
Oh, okay, you moved on from
in the last week, just because I've sort of looked at the ant and the bee and that. And what I've found with pigeons is they've got wings, yet they walk a lot.
I'd love that to be a thesis where he got like a £500,000 grant from a university, and I said, well, Pilkington seems to, he's done ants and he's done bees, he's followed ants. Apparently they're not doing anything, some of them are lazy. We are granting him another £500,000. He's been working on it for a year. Please welcome Karl Pilkington.
Karl, what have you found?
Well, even though pigeons have wings, they walk a lot.
No, but even in times of danger, one was crossing the road and a car was coming, and you'd think that its head would say, best start flying. Yet he just walked faster.
Well,
what's he doing?
It was doing stuff, wasn't it? It saved a bit of energy. Takes a lot to take off, doesn't it?
Yeah, but it's either that or you're going to get crushed.
Use the energy. It didn't get crushed, did it?
No, I don't think it did. No.
There you go. They knew what it was doing, didn't it?
Yeah, it just annoyed me. That's all. It's got a power, and it's not
power. They're all superpowered. These animals.
But that's why he thinks of the stick insect as like that. You mentioned earlier that's its power, that's its skill. Like Spider-Man was bitten by a radioactive spider, and now he can solve crimes and swing with webbage, using his webbage. Whereas, stick insects is not. It's not a superpower.
But say if everything was at the same size as us, what would be the best thing to be? Say like a tarantula.
Yeah.
And a tiger. What would happen there?
A 15-stone tiger versus a 15-stone tarantula.
Yeah.
Well, I'd imagine the 15-stone tarantula.
Right, so it's just weird that, innit? It's a good job that they're small. Yet things are getting bigger because we're messing with the world.
But it's a ridiculous thing to say, isn't it? Because what would it eat? 15 stone. Well, it wouldn't happen anyway, because insects have insects and arachnids and just invertebrate arthropods in general. They have a critical mass because they haven't got lungs. They breathe through things in their side called spiracles, and if it gets too big, the surface to volume ratio isn't big enough to allow it enough oxygen. So the biggest you'll find is like a foot-long beetle or something weird
it's
like
big
that.
Though, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's about as big as they get.
So
I wouldn't worry about it.
Again, based on nothing, he queries you.
And also, it's not a case that one that'll be born too big and can't breathe. It won't happen. That's why they're only that big, because
But it's like
restriction.
fish, isn't it? How they say about a goldfish.
Yeah.
That thing about a woman who went on holiday and stuck it in a bath. She came back, it was 7 foot.
Right, that didn't happen.
No, that's a well-known thing about
No, it's not a
goldfish.
well-known thing.
What?
I'll tell you why. Because a fish will only grow to its surroundings anyway. So
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
you have to put it in a bigger tank.
Yeah, in a bath.
No, a 7-foot fish in a bath. It just fit the bath exactly, did it?
When she got back off holiday.
Don't talk shit.
It's
What
a
was it
well-known-
eating? What was it eating?
How long was she gone for? 2 million years?
Yeah. She went to Mars and back.
Yeah.
It's just that fish are weird, aren't they?
Well, no, there's no,
Again.
that's a bollocks story. Once again,
No,
I don't know where you've heard it or read it.
It's a
or
well-known story.
a 7-foot goldfish in your bath.
But, no, fish are weird.
Ted,
like
you're
that.
not going to believe this. Come up here.
Well, how many fish do you see that have naturally died? That's the weird thing.
What do you mean?
Just ping-ponging around these ideas in your mind.
You just never see fish sort of just floating about in the water and you go, oh, died of old age. It's always been caught by a man or a shark's at it. You don't just see dead fish washed up, do you? When you think of the
Sometimes.
amount of fish... No, when you think of the amount of fish that are in the sea, there's loads of them, and yet you never...
Because they're eaten
walk
straight
down
away.
That's what I'm saying, though. Are they eaten when they're dead, or are they just being eaten?
Well, most things like that don't die of old age.
Yeah, that's weird, though, isn't it?
Well, no, because it's a jungle out there.
Yeah, no, that's why I said I wouldn't want to live in the sea. Because you've got to
Are
be
you
on-
sure you're not on morphine as we speak?
No, but in the sea, you've got to be constantly sort of alert, haven't you?
Yeah,
amount
but
of
that's
stuff.
true of all animals.
No, worse than the sea. The sea is like full of... you've got an enemy round every rock.
I love it! I love it! It's like a warning to crabs
Exactly.
and young squid. It's like the policeman that comes into your school.
Yeah.
What advice would you give? Okay then, what advice would you give?
Some plankton.
Now, what advice would you give a 2-week-old octopus?
And what am I? Am I an octopus?
No,
you're
you're
yourself.
you. We've set it up that it can understand you with some sort of one of your inventions. to talk to the animals. One of your brilliant inventions is just a watch you strap on its tentacle and it can understand human talk. I'm sure you'll come up with that one day. What do you say to it? What would you say to an octopus, a young octopus, who wants to set out by himself in the sea?
Stay close to the rocks. And just let it know about the thing about it can get into a small space. If you look at an hole, don't go, I can't get in there. And sort of squash it and show itself. I can roll it into a ball and sort of say, look at that. Is that hurting?
I love the fact that the drugs make no difference. It's like there's no difference. Oh, God.
Because that's the only thing that's got in it. It's boneless. So
that's its special power.
That's what it can do. You can roll it up, and as long as it knows that. But that's the problem with a lot of powers, isn't it? That's the same thing about how people say don't have a go at bees because they're not like wasps. They don't sting you because once they sting you, they die. That doesn't know that, does it?
It's also not true, but yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It doesn't know, so it's not like the bees going around going, I'm not going to sting you because I'll die if I do.
What's your point there? I don't understand.
I'm just saying
we shouldn't dislike bees.
Well, how do these creatures know what to do?
Instinct.
I suppose it's like that story you told me about the scorpion, isn't it? It's that, innit?
What, the scorpion and the frog?
Yeah.
What, the fable?
Yeah. What was it? It was a frog.
The scorpion needed to get across a river, and it said to a frog, "Can you give me a lift?" And the frog said, "Well, no, of course not, because you'll sting me. You're a scorpion." And he goes, "Well, no, why would I do that? If I sting you and I'm in the water and you drown, I drown." And the frog went, "Good point." So the frog gives him a piggyback, going across the river, halfway across, the scorpion stings the frog, and the frog's dying. And the frog's going, "No, I'm going to die, and you're going to die. So why did you do that?" And the scorpion said, "Because I'm a scorpion." What do you think that was meant to point out?
Just sort of be careful who you help.
No. It's meant to point out that you are what you are. You are your nature.
No, but it's also that thing of like...
I'm telling you, it's nothing to do with
if
what the frog was...
If you're driving and someone's hitchhiking, don't pick them up because...
No, it's nothing to do with the mentality or the reasoning or the anything to do with the frog at all. The point of it.
Well, I don't know. I think Aesop was thinking a lot about the hitchhiking problem.
It wouldn't happen. That's the problem with a lot of them fables. They're putting animals together that wouldn't meet.
Oh, whereas insects go around shagging leaves.
Well, insects are with the leaves, whereas I don't know where a scorpion is knocking around with a frog. I mean, there's that weird one I remember
He's
watching.
Annoyed.
I remember hearing something about this lizard that sort of gets pally with the scorpions, even though they're not mates, they don't get on, but they've kind of got this agreement that the scorpion can live in their house if they guard it. And there's the local people used to stick their hands down these holes and get the lizards to make slippers out of them. And the lizards were getting sick of this. And I think somehow something happened where the lizards thought, look, enough's enough. We'll let you sleep in our den if you stand by the door. So the scorpion used to stand by the door and stay awake at night whilst the lizard's having a kip. Fella comes along wanting to make some new slippers, puts his hand down the hole, scorpion gets him. Now that's what's weird with that two enemies have worked together.
It's called a symbiotic relationship. But at no point did they sit down and go, right, what are we going to do? I'll tell you what, I'll give you shelter. You give me that sting in case there's a fella who wants to make slippers. Because all this happened way before people were making slippers.
But isn't it weird, though? Because there's nothing that happens like that in people, is there?
Of course there is.
What, like that, where you don't get on but you work with them?
Of course there is.
What?
Loads of business relationships. What do you mean?
No, but normally you stay... What I mean is you stay away. If someone's being a bit weird...
There are loads of examples where you might go, well, I hate to do it, but my only option is to go with X, Y and Z.
But what I'm saying is, though, let me just finish.
Go on.
I live in an area where, I sort of know a lot of the locals, and there's a local woman who's a bit mad. Now, I know her, but I choose to sort of stay away because it scares you a bit, doesn't it, when something's like that and it's unpredictable. So, when I was in the little corner shop, she came in, right? She screams a lot, just screams for the sake of it. And you don't know if she's upset or if she's just doing it for attention, then the scream will go from screaming to laughing. So you're like, oh, what's going on? And it was like rush hour. It was like rush hour time in this shop. And she chose to go in then, and she doesn't work, so it was like, why is she coming in now? She's had all day to go in. Just pick the busy time. And she was like about 3 places in front of me. And she was only buying a Yorkie and some earbuds. Right? And I thought,
a Yorkie and some earbuds?
Yeah, and I thought, what's the rush? You've come at the wrong time, and you bought stuff that could have waited. You should never have to rush out for a Yorkie or an earbud, is what I'm saying. Right? And I ended up sort of going, I can't stand this. And I left. Now, that was me being like I would expect the scorpion to be, or the lizard.
I don't know what you're talking about now.
I have no idea.
Okay, so what do you mean?
No, I'm just saying how, like, I chose that woman could be dangerous, so I'll leave her to it. And that's where nature kicks in. And you go, I don't want to be here. I don't know what she's going to do. She's unpredictable. I'll pop back later. And then, I look out, I can see the shop. I saw her go, and she was, like, laughing to herself again and trying to climb up some ladders. And I thought, once she's gone, I'll nip back. I don't know what my point was. I don't know.
Oh, he's only got to reel it down.
That's the jingle for Karl's diary. We had bacon and egg on toast. I'm eager to get through the brown sauce, as the bottle is too big to go in any cupboard, so it has to be left on the sideboard. So I had about 4 dollops of the stuff. I love that, because, that made it into the diary. He's concerned about the fact that brown sauce is too big, so he's rushing through it.
I know, but I'm just saying the kitchen isn't that big, and it looks messy when you leave stuff out, doesn't it? And we've got this giant brown sauce bottle, and I don't want to chuck it away because that'd be a waste.
So you're having brown sauce and everything, your cornflakes,
yeah.
in your tea.
Yeah.
A wasp got in the flat. Trouble's brewing. It was massive. The biggest wasp ever. Suzanne asked me to get it out, but I wanted to take a picture of it first. I was getting my phone ready when it flew at me. I reckon the sting on it could have killed a kitten.
So specific.
It ended up flying out the window on its own. Drama averted.
Oh, God.
We went out for tea. You're always in a cafe. That's what this diary. You spend so much time in a cafe. There were loads of flying ants. I kept kicking the table because I could feel them on my legs. I wouldn't be that jumpy normally, but I still had flashbacks of the giant wasp from the morning. Suzanne told me to stop being stupid because I was ruining her night out.
A night out in a cafe. Brilliant. Oh,
what was it, her birthday?
And flashbacks from an incident.
Yeah.
Like he's some sort of, like, war veteran. What is it? It's the wasp. It could have killed a kitten.
Bought some wallpaper. We got back and got on with it. The wall that we've papered before has got a big mirror under it. We papered on top of it again. I ended up reading my phrase book while Suzanne did the rest of the tidying up. Now, what's your phrase book? This is just you trying to master English, is it?
It's just a book that tells you little sayings and how they came about.
An interesting phrase is potluck. It came about when all people ate is stews. They used to chuck all sorts of stuff into the stew. You stuck your spoon in, and sometimes you got something nice like beef, or you could end up with a bit of frog. It's potluck.
Good, that, isn't it?
That's what it said in the book, did it?
A bit of frog.
Got up and checked the wallpaper out. There are loads of air bumps and it's buckled on the joins. I wish we'd never done it. Suzanne said the washer was broke and it's out of its warranty. She called up the people who made it and they said it will cost £150 to fix. I don't know how they know that when they haven't even seen it. I want to smash it to bits and see what they can do for £150. So much anger.
I want to smash it to bits. That'd be great, wouldn't it? 150, you sure?
Yeah,
Come round.
Yeah.
And it's just like a cube that's been through one of those car crushers.
Yeah.
150 quid, there's 150 quid, fix it.
I watched the news and calmed down a bit, because there was a story about some Siamese twins who are having an operation. They've got 2 heads, 4 arms, 2 legs, 1 liver. The doctor said they will have 1 leg each. I felt bad worrying about the washer when people have bigger problems like the Siamese twins. Ricky and Steve asked me to do a poem about one day a week, so I thought I'd do one today. I can't obviously do it justice, I should let the master read it.
You've done another poem?
Yeah, you said, just do one. If you have a day where you've had a lot of emotions.
Well, I loved the poem, and so did the listeners, and I knew they would, so if you can do that every week, that'd be a joy for me.
You can't force a poem, though.
No, I know.
So diary's easy to do, because you just write down what you're doing.
But
Yeah.
you've got to have some really meaty subject matter to be able to write a poem, Rick, as you'll discover.
I know.
Right, so, you've heard what problems I had that day.
Go on then.
Bubbled wallpaper. What a mess. Washer dry and knackered. What a mess. Siamese twins separated. 1 leg less.
I don't know what rhyming scheme that is again. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh. Oh, fuck me. Well, there you go. That's the end of episode 2 of series 3 of the Ricky Gervais Show. More next week. More drivel, more diary. Another poem, I hope.
Maybe.
Just more news and stuff. From me, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant,
Goodbye.
and Karl Pilkington.
Right.
Hello, welcome to number 3 in the 3rd series of the Ricky Gervais Show. With me, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant,
Hello there.
and of course, Karl Pilkington.
Alright.
Had a good week, Karl?
Alright, just boring. It's a boring week. Because that sort of kidney operation I've had, it's just affected my life in a big way.
How are you now, Karl? Are you feeling better?
Better than it was last week.
Because last week you really were not putting the effort in, were you?
And it's your own fault, you got kidney stones, you don't drink enough water.
That's what I've been doing this week. Just drinking. You said what sort of week have you had? What have you been up to? That's what I've done. I've drank water. That's all I've been doing. If there's a water shortage in London, it's because of that. Honestly, that's what you have to do. It's just boring. Just like a basking shark. Just sort of with its mouth open, just going through the water. Sick of it.
Oh, he's led the life of plankton for 1 week.
Have you been able to do anything, or have you just been resting?
It's best to rest. Just because, your body's still in shock, even though in the head, physically, I thought it was alright. The body sort of just acts in weird ways.
Brilliant.
It's a weird thing, isn't it? Like I said last week, you don't think about your body until there's something up with it. And then you panic a bit. And then you go, right, I'm going to look after it from now on. I've been given a second chance here.
As I said before, this was not a life-threatening illness or operation.
No, but it's that same thing. The last time I had it was when I nearly choked to death on the Mr. Freeze pop.
Right.
Where I had that sort of, what do they call it when you have like a second coming? Do you know what I mean? It's that sort of thing where
I don't think you're the second coming.
No, but that thing of...
If you are, we're all screwed.
You mean the second chance?
Yeah, it's a second chance thing.
Your life flashes before you, doesn't it?
Yeah, but you get, you suddenly feel kinder. Do you know what I mean?
Really?
Yeah, you sort of go, right, that was a bit of a warning. Be
like
good,
Scrooge?
Be good to people and stuff. Yeah, a little bit. I think it's normal.
So are you now a nicer person? You're giving more generously to charity and the like?
Well, I haven't been out, so I can't do anything. I can't help anyone. Yeah.
Go online and...
But maybe, once...
Donate some money, all this cash you're in.
No, I've given enough money away. Sick of it. But,
It's changed.
So he hasn't changed at all then, no?
But you've also got to be careful as well, because there's that thing of, you can drown yourself, by having too much water.
Yeah.
So it's just getting that balance right of not having too much and filling yourself up.
Well, yeah, it's that balance, right, of not dehydrating and, becoming like a desert jellyfish. like a little crisp, and drowning yourself.
Yeah.
You're right, it is a balance. That's exactly what you've got to do.
I don't know how you've managed it, Karl. It's very complicated.
Yeah.
No, but
What I do is when I'm thirsty, I drink, and when I'm not thirsty, I don't.
yeah, but that's the problem with me. Whatever it is that's in your head that says you should have a drink, I don't really have one.
It's called a brain.
It's called a brain. Yeah.
It's the brain that tells you.
But the brain's never thirsty. I only think of drinking when I'm eating. And I'm not eating as much because my kidney's weird. I don't want to put any pressure on it, so I don't drink. So now, if I have it in front of me all the time, I go, right, I've got to have that.
Yeah.
So I feel a bit better.
Good.
Just, it's just been a long week. Because when you don't do much, it's just, time doesn't whiz by.
And normally your weeks are packed, as we know, with visits to the cobblers.
Yeah.
Well, it's just like they say, innit? They say,
Following an ant.
Exactly, yeah. You've got a hectic schedule.
I know, I don't know how you fit it all in.
But, because I was close to death and everything.
You weren't close to death.
I've been thinking about, other people who've been in that situation where they're dying and what have you. And it's weird how, like, in a way, do you know, like they say before you die, things to do?
Yeah.
I've never heard that sentence before. I don't know if they say.
Well, I've extrapolated from that. What you mean is there are certain things you should do before you die. Swim with dolphins, etc.
Yeah. But in a way, because I've had such a boring week, it's been a long week. So if I was dying, don't go swim with dolphins because you'll love it and the time will whiz by and you go, oh, there's another day gone. Whereas I've been sat at home watching, The Price is Right and stuff. And it's just like, oh, it's only 4 o'clock. Oh, this is dragging. So if I was dying, I'd go, yeah, it's dragging, but I've got ages more left to live.
Yeah.
But what's the point?
But it's really about quality of existence, isn't it, when you're dying?
No, but anyway, I'm just saying.
Oh, okay.
Been a boring week. But what I've been doing is going on the internet, sort of learning stuff, been watching more documentaries about stuff.
Yeah. Okay, tell me something you watched on the internet then.
The thing that stands out the most, there's this spider.
Right.
That a fella got. Popped it in like a little sort of bottle.
Yeah.
And chucked in 80 ants. And the spider, right, just went mental. And I don't know if the spiders eat ants. I don't know if they do. But he wasn't happy with them, that they were there. And he was just whizzing around, sort of biting them. Not eating them, just giving them a bite. And the ants would sort of just lie there, dead. And spider had this system of sort of going, right, I'm going to put the dead ones over there. And it was biting them, dragging them across, putting them in a pile, killing another one, popping it in the pile. And by the end of it, it made like a little pile of dead ants. And he was just there sort of breathing heavily. And that was amazing because I've never witnessed that before. But you don't see that happening, do you, normally?
So you think that if people are unfortunately passing away, sort of visiting Disneyland or whatever, they should
just learn stuff. Just
sure, get on the internet and watch
this
spiders.
This world is amazing.
Attacking ants.
And just that thing of, last week you were saying how good ants were and how they're brainy and they work hard and everything. Yet none of them they didn't know what they were doing. There was panic going on. You watched them again, they were running backwards and forwards, and I remember like seeing a programme about ants where they're meant to sort of work together as a team, and if they climb up a person's leg, that person stood on their house, say, and they're all like, oh.
There's a signal and they all bite at the same time.
They all bite at once. Now, if that had done that on that spider, they sort of all go on it, and when they're all in position, one of them sort of goes, no, and it bites, and then it would do some damage, but there was none of that.
But you've seen things like the Towering Inferno, where even humans panic crazily and jump out of windows and things until Steve McQueen comes along and saves the day, so...
Yeah, but at the end of the day, when you're in a Towering Inferno, you were there relaxing on holiday. So, of course you're going to be relaxed, and the shock of it's going to make you go, oh, I wasn't ready for that, I was sat here in my trunks. Whereas that ants should always be alert.
Well, yeah.
Any insect's life should always be...
Well, so for a human scooping up 80 of them, putting them in a bottle with a giant spider.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, that's what insects do. Their life, they never relax. That's what's weird with an insect. There's no downtime, is there? It's you wake up, you go and get the food, you build your house. That's what you do, so you're always alert. They shouldn't be sort of running around going, oh, what do we do now? That should be in them.
I
They should
love
know
that you're annoyed at these poor ants that were bitten to death.
But also, they say they're clever. I was looking at it. If I was an ant, I would have just crawled under the pile of dead ones. Just sit under there, wait for the spider to go. None of them were doing that. They were all staying on one side and the dead ones on the other. So I'm just saying that, you know, you're always sticking up for insects, saying they know what they're doing. They don't.
What do you mean? Where's this come from? When have I ever stuck up for insects? It's you that's follow them, saying they're brilliant and that, and ladybirds are right-handed and Christ knows what.
No, but, you know, so I'd learnt that.
Brilliant. You haven't learned anything.
There's nothing to learn from that.
There's nothing you learned from that.
Something about jellyfish, and what else was there? There was a programme on the telly about survival, and a fella who he looks after elephants, and he's in this little hang glider, looking for an elephant that he's looking after. He has to keep a track on where it's going and all that. And one day he's saying, "Oh, I haven't seen the elephant today," and the fella's like, well, look for it tomorrow. He's like, "No, it's best if I go and look for it now, because it might go further away or something." He said, "Oh, I wish you'd leave it, you know, till tomorrow." So straight away you're going, "Oh, this is trouble." So he's going out in his glider, sort of at night. He's looking for the elephant. I doubt
it's a glider. I imagine
it's a glider with an engine. It's one of
a light aircraft then.
Yeah. So he gets in that on his own. He's wandering about in the air, looking down. Like I say, it's loads of land. He's looking for one elephant. He's not having much luck. Anyway, I think he gets to a point when he goes, "Oh, I'm having no luck, I might as well go home." Goes to turn round. Something happens. The glider falls to the floor, crashes.
Light aircraft.
Yeah. That crashes. He gets out. He's broke his legs. Done his back in. His hands. I mean, he's in a bad way. And he looks at the plane, and that's a wreck. Petrol's coming out of it. He's thinking that's not going to fly again. And he has to lie there, doesn't he, for like 48 hours or something. And in that time, everything's being chucked at him. He has a lion wandering around him. A scorpion walked over his leg. Some sort of dangerous snake went in his shoe. Yeah. What else is there out there? Some sort of bad ants. Just everything that's there that could cause a problem. He had it all in his life.
I haven't seen this, but I suspect there's a lot of conjecture in this telling of it. Bad ants.
No, just anything that you could think of that's out there to cause you a bit of a problem.
Camels.
He got hot. He got so hot his lips fell off. No, because you have to have a lot of juice to keep your lips sort of how they are.
Right.
So that's the sort of state he was in.
Yeah.
48 hours. And yet he survived in the end. Someone came and found him.
And you thought you were bored doing nothing?
Yeah, no. Well,
he didn't even have the internet.
Yeah, but he had a lot of insects.
What would you do then if you landed, right? Supposing we all land, right? We're shipwrecked, okay? There's no food around. But there's a chance we might be saved, like in a few days. We just got to stay alive just for a few days, okay? Steve offers up his penis.
For what purpose?
Well, it's already he's torn it in the plane crash anyway, so it's hanging off. You go, okay, listen, lads, let's eat this. This will go 3 ways.
I should be so lucky. Okay, fine, yeah.
I'll look for something else. Because we're surrounded by water. Why are we eating knob? There's loads of fish and everything. There's more fish in the sea than there is stuff on land. That was something else that I've read about how there's more sea life happening. There's loads more.
What do you mean? Than what?
Than stuff happening on land.
Well, yeah, it's a bigger place, isn't it?
Yeah, and there's more. They're all coming further in because it's getting so crowded. Everything's being pushed outwards. So we're going to get to a point where people won't go walking in the sea because there'll be something deadly just floating about on near the shore.
Again, that's no information at all.
I don't know.
There's no information in that statement at all.
Yeah, I said how the sea is so overcrowded that everything's being pushed to the edge.
It's not overcrowded.
It is.
You mean things that are in the sea are being pushed to the edge of the sea?
Yeah, because there's new stuff happening all the time. there's new creatures being made, they're changing quickly. They were saying how, like, I don't know, 50 years ago, jellyfish didn't even have a sting.
That's rubbish. Try 50 million and you'll get closer to the truth.
But what I mean is, in terms of, like, land, we all look the same, don't we? We've had 2 legs and 2 arms for ages. Whereas in the sea, things are changing at a really fast rate. So, like, jellyfish we're knocking about.
The sea is a much more stable environment than the land anyway.
What are you on about?
Well, I wouldn't have thought evolution is any faster in the sea than land.
Yeah, it is.
Well, no, what's the evidence for this?
Well, I'm telling you now. I'm telling you how jellyfish have changed. And look at them.
And how have they changed then? So 50 years ago they didn't have a sting. Yeah. Now they have.
Yeah. Trilbies, they wore trilbies 50 years ago as well.
And they just spoke with a much more, refined accent.
Just that is quite a lot though, isn't it? Because jellyfish are nothing.
But like no, you've made that up. That's not a fact. There's no facts come out of this discussion. Not, oh, that's interesting. That you haven't said anything. Jellyfish haven't changed in 50 years.
No, they have. They've changed a lot in terms of...
Well, they haven't changed in hundreds of millions of years, so I don't know what the 60s had to do with anything. I just don't know what influence the Beatles and Mary Quant suddenly had on jellyfish when they hadn't changed for hundreds of millions of years.
With all this sort of loose, free sex, free love, they were just going berserk.
I know, yeah.
There were no inhibitions amongst the jellyfish anymore.
Things are changing a lot. To think that jellyfish, when they first came out, they were nothing. Jellyfish are nothing, aren't they? They're just a blob. So
when they first came out, when they were first released,
new by Karl.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, even though they were nothing, they've grown to have a bit of something, just to get by in a busy place.
I don't know what you're talking about. It's all guesswork and conjecture.
It's not guesswork. I've been
all
all week.
nonsense.
I've been reading all this and watching stuff.
Karl, you haven't learned anything.
Well, that's not entirely true because he's obviously learnt enough to have written a poem about some of these subjects.
Oh, I love his poems. Are you getting into poetry now, properly?
I really like it, yeah.
Is Karl going to read this for me, Steve?
If you want him to.
I think so.
I did one about my kidneys.
What was it called?
Didn't have a name, it doesn't need it.
Ode to a Nephron.
Right, I did 2 about jellyfish.
Excellent.
I don't like jellyfish. They're not a fish, they're just a blob. They don't have eyes, fins or scales like a cod. They float about blind, stinging people in the seas, and no one eats jellyfish with chips and mushy peas. Get rid of them. And then there's just a shorter one I did about a jellyfish. It would be spiteful to put jellyfish in a trifle.
Yeah, it certainly would.
That's great! That's really good! Because it's jelly. He's done us this.
Yeah.
That's a really good poem. It would be spiteful to put jellyfish in a trifle.
Yeah.
A little half rhyme.
Yeah.
Do you want the one about my kidneys?
Yeah.
For God's sake, me belly ache. The doctor said it's me kidney. He said he's got to stick a tube up my knob. I said, you got to be kidding me. For God's sake, knob ache.
Oh God! I'm sort of mildly disappointed that they're quite good.
Yeah.
No poet's ever written about jellyfish and kidneys. It's great. Oh God, I think you might have the market sewn up there. It would be spiteful to put a jellyfish in a trifle. I mean, I'm both impressed and fascinated and worried by Karl's new literary outlook.
Yeah.
You know, we've said to him, we've tried to make him appreciate the arts and poetry and explaining like what metaphor does and symbolism and all that. But I'm worried it'll backfire because what if he becomes clever and erudite and then we lose our little endless well of stupidity? What if we lose our little shaved monkey? I mean, these podcasts without,
It's almost like you were evolving into a human.
I mean, you've actually you've authored a book.
Well, I have to say, I mean, without at the risk of sounding like we're shamelessly promoting it, I've only just looked at the book today, because that's the first time I've seen it, The World of Karl Pilkington, and I was very impressed by how legitimate it feels. I mean, it does feel like an actual book.
He's put so much work into it. I mean,
he's done drawings, he's done extra thoughts and ideas, and it's very odd to think that has probably gone now into the British Library, which I think is obligated to take a copy of every book published.
Incredible.
I mean, let's be honest, it's not going to be on anyone's bookshelf. It'll be on their lavatory cistern, possibly next to their bed. But nevertheless, it's hardback and it's got pages. It's a real book.
Yeah.
Will you now read some great works? Will you read poetry at all? Or?
Probably not. I don't like reading made-up stories because
Fiction.
life's interesting enough, innit?
Right.
If I'm going to read someone else's lies, I might as well make some of my own up and save me money, is what I mean.
But you do read lies and made-up things, you just take them as the truth. Most of the spurious facts and apocryphal tales and ridiculous stories that you read on the internet are, fiction.
Yeah, but as long as it gets you thinking, then it really doesn't matter. Say, like, I was telling you about the sea being full up.
Yeah.
Right? How there's too many fish in it, and they're all being pushed out. Then, it was saying about how the jellyfish is changing.
Yeah.
From a bit back, just being a blob, to now being a blob with stingy bits. You go, oh. And then...
No, I don't. I wonder what he read.
And
I wonder what he was reading.
Then I'll think of what other things are in the sea, how are they changing? And then that's when I might do a poem about an octopus with two heads. Because it's got me thinking. So no longer am I just reading someone else's story, spending a full week reading some other story. I've read a little paragraph, and that's got me thinking about
an octopus. It's inspired you to make great art.
With an octopus with two heads. And you just think, yeah, that would work. That's a good way for them to evolve. They've got all the arms. Give them two heads.
They've got all the arms.
And, it would work because, like I've said to you before, it is one big head to make it two smaller heads. So it's just looking at science, looking at how things can move.
It's not looking at science.
Not looking at science. You then speculating on an octopus having two heads is of no value, is it, to anyone or anything?
But there's people out there who are bringing out books who are writing stuff like that for sci-fi stuff. And I think, why am I reading
But that's
theirs?
entertainment. Everyone knows it's not true. They're doing it to...
But they do more than just say, wouldn't it be great if there was an octopus with two heads? They then paint a world in which this octopus exists and presumably causes some kind of narrative interest.
I can do that on my own, though. Without...
So what's the story of the octopus with two heads?
It's happier in the end. Everyone likes happy ending. He's got company.
But that's not a story, Carl. What? Tell us the story.
What, you made up a story about an octopus with two heads?
No, I'm just saying... I've thought about how the sea's changing. Right, what else is in the sea? Octopus. Right, what's an octopus like? Well, it's just a big head with a load of arms. Right, how would I change that?
I love this thought process.
But it's not a story. This is not a story. It's not anything. It's just some thoughts you've had. It's not...
A story is there to make you think and have thoughts.
But what is it that you've thought? You've not... I don't see what you've thought here.
I've just thought, yeah, that'd be alright.
I know, but...
Well, like King Kong, then. That's only someone who's gone, oh, monkeys are getting better at stuff.
Yes, but it has a story, doesn't it? They go in search...
No, it isn't. It isn't saying monkeys are getting better at stuff. That's not what it's saying. There's lots of themes, but that's not one of them.
Monkeys are getting better at stuff.
No, they're getting better at stuff. The way they try to he tried to go out with a woman. That's them moving on, isn't it? It's the monkey going, do you know what? I quite fancy her. And from the beginning, I mean, that is a story that you go, well, that relationship ain't going to work. Do you know what I mean? I've not gone out with women who I've quite fancied, but then they smoke. And you go, oh, that's enough to put me off. Yeah. So, when a monkey's that big, the thought wouldn't even pass my mind.
To go on a date.
This could work out. Sometimes it's just, relationships aren't made for each other. Now, that for a story, you wouldn't think it'd go past page 1. Yet you're having a go at me because an octopus has got two heads. Which isn't that weird. When you look at them anyway, I mean, there must be the weirdest thing knocking about on the planet. I'm not kidding you. I've never seen anything so weird. And yet...
He's angry because he's not seen anything so weird as an octopus, so
But it's not yet a story.
What's weird about it? What's strange about an octopus with all the things that could...
Why is it any weirder than a dog?
Because it couldn't be further away from us. A dog has got human eyes. If a jellyfish had a pair of eyes like ours, I probably wouldn't worry about him that much. But like I said to you, it's that way that they haven't got eyes, they're floating about. I can handle some fish, they look like us, they've got eyes, you can make eye-to-eye contact with them. A jellyfish, what are you looking at? It's a snidey thing, like I've said to you. You can see a lot in eyes, do you know what I mean? They say, don't trust him, why? It's his eyes. Jellyfish haven't even got any and I don't trust them. Whereas if it had them, maybe there'd be the odd one that I'd go, oh, that one's alright.
Okay, Karl, I'm just going to throw an animal at you. Tell me how weird it is, what bits annoy you, how you change it, okay? A crab.
How would I change it?
Yeah. Does it annoy you? Do you think it's weird?
They are weird, but they're at that size where they can get away with it.
Yeah, it suits them. Okay, good.
Would I change anything? In a way, you know, what you're saying about things not working, he can't walk forwards. So why hasn't something happened? Why haven't they said, you know what, these arms are too clumsy. We need to have them so they can slot away easier, and we can pull them out when we need them, instead of clumping around with them. Because they do struggle. You see them struggling with their arms. Yet they're still here, they're still doing that, they're still designed that way.
What's the weirdest animal? So you think the octopus is the weirdest animal on Earth?
Yeah. In terms of design and everything, and if you lined everything up, say if I'd come from another planet, and everything was lined up in a row, and they said, right, we're going to give you a crash course in what's knocking about on this planet. Yeah. And you go, right, go on then. And you go, this is man, here's woman, here's a dog, here's a cat. Here's an octopus, I go, hang on a minute, what is this?
Oh, it's only going really down.
That jingle, of course, signifies another reading from Karl Pilkington's diary. There was an animal in the paper today that I've never before seen. It's called an alpaca. They are gormless looking. The fellow who breeds them said they are easy to look after because they're used to harsh conditions because they normally live in the mountains. The problem with this is they will turn useless eventually, and then if we tried to bung it back on the Andes, they won't like it. It's like how people win these live like a star for a week competitions. They're not good for anyone. Okay.
Do you know what I mean? If something's living somewhere...
But he's not going to send them back to the Andes. He's presumably breeding them for something else.
Yeah, but say if eventually, you know, the world's getting busy, there's hardly any room, and we go, right, what can we shift here? What's getting in our way that we can shift? Well, those funny-looking things came from the Andes, bung them back. All right, then let's put them back. And they go, oh, they don't like it. They're not surviving, they're dying out. Why did we bring them here? Oh, it was closer. Yeah, but look, we've died out now of the...
Sorry, this is an argument with yourself. This isn't happening. Don't get angry about it like it just happened and you're sick of it. None of this has happened yet.
I'm just looking at how it will happen. Leave them where they were.
But you're getting angry about things that you're speculating on now. It's absurd, Karl. Not once have I read here about your anger about terrorism or international, you know, political injustice. Not once have you written about that. Only about the fact we may send animals back to the Andes.
I know, but just because it just annoyed me, that's all. They brought them here. Some fella's getting a load of praise because they brought this weird animal into the country. And yet, it's like, well, they were on the Andes for a reason. Leave them there. It was happier there. I mean, I feel guilty when I open a bag and a fly flies out of it, and I think, where's that come from?
What bag are you opening with flies? What bag?
No, just when, like, you know, the bag I took the computer home in, a fly flew out of it, and I thought, when did that get in that bag? Wherever brought that from? And it's the same thing. It doesn't want to be somewhere else. It was where it was. And that's the same with this Polaco, or whatever.
Great news! Get $25 cash back on the purchase you just made. Sign up now.
It's amazing! It really is the ramblings of a madman, isn't it?
Some new sea thing has been found.
There's the headlines on the news.
It wasn't found by sea experts, it was found on eBay. Someone was selling it for a £5. I don't see the point in buying something that you don't know what it is.
What do you mean? What do you mean? It was...
Someone's found some sort of shell with a thing living in it.
Right.
They thought, oh, I've never seen one of these before, I can flog it on eBay. Someone bought it and then wanted to look after it, went to some sea expert, and they said, oh, I don't know what that is. That's the story. It's just
Great
weird
news.
how
Now you can get
stuff's
up to
being found on
$25
eBay.
cash
No, it wasn't
back
found
any
on eBay though, was it?
purchase.
Yeah, but that's where the specialist people sort of picked up on it. It's just weird that... I mean, all I was saying is I wouldn't want one. If you don't know how to... If it's a new creature, you don't know what makes it happy. When you get a kitten, you go, stroke its head. Loves it. Right? And you can do that knowing that it's liking it. If I had a little seashell and you go, does it sit in water? I don't know. Do you know what I mean? You could end up doing more damage. So that's why I wouldn't want it. It's nice to have rules in it. It's nice to know what you're doing with something.
Well, as you write in the diary, it's like if an alien landed and wanted to live with you. As much fun as it might sound, it wouldn't be long before you got annoyed with it because it wouldn't eat the food you gave it.
That's what I'm saying, but I couldn't have a go at it because it might not like pasta.
It might not.
Everyone likes pasta.
Wow. That's it for another week. I hope you've enjoyed this half hour of drivel. I mean, some of the most stupid things ever said. I mean, it's like he's got a contempt now for the world. Like, he doesn't care what comes out of his head.
Learning can be frustrating. Can't it? You know, you maybe I'm getting you thinking, maybe on your way home today you'll be going, octopus with two heads. And if you do that for 5 seconds, I've done my job.
Good to have a job in it. So, from me, Ricky Gervais, goodbye. From Steve Merchant.
Goodbye.
And from Karl Pilkington.
All right.